Thank you, Fabiola, so much for inviting me to this program. Today we're going to start with a new program, The Right Nutrition by Alicia Mazari. I'm going to talk today about the number one mistake that we all immigrants make when we come to a different country, and we forget about where we're coming from. And basically that is, we forget about our roots. We forget about how our ancestors ate. We forget about how our grandparents and great-grandparents ate. Today I'm going to introduce you to a new concept. And that concept, I call it new, but basically it's really, really old. And that concept is called real food. And what is real food? Real food is something that you can take from the soil and put it inside your mouth. Something that is not processed. So let's take a look at an example, a difference between what we call real food and what we call processed food. So my basic example is a potato versus a bag of potato chips. So if you were actually able to read all the ingredients in a potato chip bag, most of them you will not even recognize them. You might not even be able to pronounce them. So here's your hint. You don't know what it says, your body will not either. So avoid it, totally avoid it. This is more nutritious. You get more value from a potato with the potato peel than you do from a bag of chips. This is what real food is. And I really want to share with you a story. I love my grandma. I think you agree with me that we all loved how our grandmas cooked. Every Friday afternoon, when I lived in Mexico, our grandma had us over for dinner. And she always made what I loved the most, and that was rice pudding. I still can taste that rice pudding that my grandma made every Friday for me. And so, as I started being a nutritionist, I have changed my diet. And I made little tweaks to that rice pudding, and instead of using rice, what I'm actually using now is something that comes from my ancestors. And I'm going to introduce you to two things that I use now a lot in my cooking, something you can easily introduce in your cooking. The first one, it's called chia. I have changed my grandma's recipe from being a rice pudding to be a chia pudding, which has way more nutrition than rice. And I'm also going to talk about another superfood, which I was introduced to later, which I'm sure some of you have heard about. Quinoa. We're going to be making a couple of really nutritious and very easy dishes that you can easily make at home. So let me tell you about chia. The name chia comes from a Mexican dialect called Nahuatl, which was what Aztecs used to talk. And the word chia means oily, because the chia seeds, these tiny little seeds, are really oily. You touch them and you can actually feel the oil in your hands. There's a state in Mexico called Chiapas, which means oily river, because it's such a beautiful place that has so much water, and Chiapas comes from the word chia. So the chia pudding is the easiest thing you can actually make, highly nutritious. You can have it for dessert, you can have it for snack. So all you need to do to prepare it, which is more nutritious than what my grandma used to make for me, the rice pudding, but still I can taste my roots, is basically you take 3 tablespoons of chia seeds, you put that in 1 cup of almond milk, and I do like drinking almond milk. So all you do is put 3 tablespoons of chia in milk, put it all together, and leave it in your fridge for about 40 minutes so that the oils from the chia come out, and it makes something a lot thicker than that. This is my rice pudding that has been sitting in my fridge for 40 minutes. Now, people like things that are sweet. So instead of using sugar, I brought something a little bit different. These are dried stevia leaves. So stevia is a very, very sweet leaf. And all you need to do is take your stevia leaves and put that inside your pudding as something to make it a little bit sweeter. If you like cinnamon, which we all love, all you need to do is put a little bit of cinnamon inside, and this is one of the most nutritious desserts you can actually have. So now we're going to prepare another superfood, quinoa. I was introduced to quinoa in Canada. I did not try quinoa in Mexico. At those times, quinoa was not introduced to my country. However, I have fell in love with it. It is the most nutritious, the easiest thing to cook, something that you have like whole protein, and it has a lot of fiber. And it's delicious. So today I want to introduce you to a new recipe. It's called a quinoa salad. It's one of my favorites because it's the easiest thing to make. If you have no time, it really takes no time to make. Quinoa, on top of being a superfood, it actually contains a high amount of fiber. So quinoa is really, really good for you. So as simple as this, we're going to use some of our ingredients. I have pre-cooked the quinoa, but it's the simplest thing to make. If you know how to make rice, you can easily make quinoa. You take 1 cup of quinoa, which is a very, very small seed, and then you add 2 cups of water. In this case, I added a little bit of chicken broth just for taste, but you can add a bit of salt, nothing major. Let it boil, let all that water evaporate, and in about 15 to 20 minutes, your quinoa is ready. You can put it in the fridge for a quinoa salad so that it's not hot. And all you really have to do about how to make quinoa salad is you can put your quinoa in a big bowl, and then you can add whichever vegetable you like or whichever vegetable your family likes. I have pre-chopped here some things like peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes, and you can also add any type of herb. Here are some chives. You can easily just put chives inside your salad. And all you need to do is mix it all up. So you end up with a very, very colorful salad. And as we tell our kids in our program is, eat the rainbow. Here is your rainbow, something that is extremely delicious and extremely nutritious. You want a little bit more protein in it, you can add whatever you like. Here I brought some garbanzo beans, and you can just add some extra seeds for extra protein. This is a complete food. See? Doesn't matter if you are vegetarian or not. Doesn't matter if you're vegan or not. And doesn't matter if you are gluten insensitive or gluten intolerant. This contains absolutely no gluten. And I also always love to add seeds. You can add any type of seed to it. Here I have sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, but any seed will give you a little bit more crunchiness to your recipe. So as you can see, it is something very, very easy to make. Now you might ask me, it's a salad. Where is the dressing? Absolutely. Something that I always use is some type of oil. This oil is called hemp oil. Hemp oil is highly nutritious in omega-3s and omega-6s. And as Dr. Udo Erasmus tells us, we need more of those in our diet. So you can add a little bit more nutritious to it with a good oil. And my favorite, limes. I grew up with them in Mexico. Limes go with absolutely everything that you like. To this, you add a little bit of salt and you mix it all up. And here you have superfood all together, easy to take with you, easy to have for a family dinner. So enjoy. So I really hope you learned something today about at least 2 recipes on coming back to our roots. So I just want to introduce you to the new food pyramid that actually we use. As you can see, it's very different from what the government is promoting. We basically eat real food. This is what we eat the most, all these non-starchy vegetables, green vegetables, leaves, stems, flowers, roots. Then we move on into having our healthy fats and oils, our protein, a little bit of fruit, our starchy vegetables and grains, a little bit of that, and maybe sometimes food. This way that I'm eating right now has changed my life. I am never overweight, I never feel full, I feel happy, I feel totally energetic. It has definitely changed my life, and I hope it changes yours. So stay with us till next time.